Okay, so I'm going to give you an overview of the puzzle project. Remember, we've got our chart. This is an organization of everything we need to do. So for this video, I'm going to talk about how you should organize your folders and talking about making a dimensioned um, drawing for each of your parts and the studio render of each part. In a future video, I'll do how to do an assembly and how to make a presentation file with the exploded assembly and creating a video animation. For organizational purposes, you're going to want to start a new folder and call it your puzzle project. Your parts, let me close Inventor here really quick. So you have 5 parts here. You're going to want all 5 of those parts in your puzzle project folder. So we may be doing other stuff in this unit, and we're going to have a lot of different files for the puzzle. So we may want to keep things organized. You may even want to do some subfolders within this folder. But for right now, let's call it good. Okay, and we're going to open up Inventor again. And you can see the part files. If you move the part files, then it doesn't have an image of it. So what we're going to do is go to Open, and then I'm going to try to find those files that I just moved. So here's my first part. So the first thing that you need to do is to make, well, not the first thing, you can do this in any order you want, but at some point you need to make a dimensioned drawing of each part. So you should know how to do this, but just really quick, we're going to download the setup.in and then import. And a couple tips, we want to make this think of this as a piece of paper and something you're handing somebody. If we leave it this size, that's pretty small. So let's go ahead and make this bigger. So let's do a 2:1 ratio. Hit OK. And same as before, we're going to project. And we need to think about what is the minimum number of views that we need to get by. And I think we can see that, having both of these extra views is not necessary. So pick one, and for this one it doesn't really matter. So I'm going to put that there and there, hit create, and we're going to, this orthographic view one doesn't need to be that big, so we'll make it smaller, shade it, and we'll put a label on it to say that we shaded it. So if you hit this box, that'll shade it in, and the light bulb will turn on the name of it and its scale, so we know it's a different scale. So let's move that in the corner, and then we're going to dimension it just like we would before. And remember, we don't need duplicate dimensions, so when you annotate this and you take the dimension of here to here, we don't need to do the same thing over here. That would be a duplicate dimension. We don't need that. So we need to dimension everything, but make sure that you don't have any duplicate dimensions. Okay, so you should be able to do that one on your own. But now what we're going to do is we're going to make a which one is it? The creating studio render of each part and assembly. So we're going to use Inventor to help us take a picture. So one thing that we're going to do is change the material. So if you click on the little circle next to generic, a bunch of different materials will show up. So we're going to click on one of the types of wood. I have no idea what type of wood this is, so we're going to guess oak. And then if you click the little up arrow, it's going to add it to your materials list up here. So then double click on that. Actually, you don't need to double click on it. And you should be good. It's a weird color, but that's okay. You can actually change the color if you want. by you click on the whole puzzle, and then click on something else. You can change the color that way. It may be helpful to change the color of each one so that you can tell them apart when you put this together later. So we're going to go to environments. So on the tabs on the top, we're going to hit environments, then Inventor Studio, and then render image. And then we can change some different things, but we're just going to go ahead and click OK and click render. And then in about 30 seconds, it's going to process a fairly high quality image, just like if we had taken a picture. So once it's done loading, we're going to hit this little save sign. And again, we're going to save that in the puzzle project. You want to name it image of part 1. And again, we really should be using our normal naming convention where it's your last name underscore, this is 4.1 underscore, and then image of part 1, and click save. So we're going to do that for each of your parts. So I'm going to end this video, and I'm going to make another video of how to make an assembly file.